How is everybody doing? As you can tell from the thumbnail, I'm going to talk about why I like wet shaving. And it goes beyond just the savings. And you honestly can. Let me get this adjusted. All my videos look like I've been shooting them like old school Batman. The room's half crooked all the time. But the benefits go far deeper than just being able to save some money. And you actually can save some serious money wet shaving if you can avoid the temptation to go down the rabbit hole. Hang on just a second. Let me get my face wet here. I got me a nice sink full of hot water. It's cold outside. And I love evening shaves with hot water. You know, you can get a pack of blades for $10 or $12, even less most of the time. And those come in a 100 pack. And price out how much a 100 pack of Harry's is going to cost you. But let's talk about today's participants. And I'm going to do this from a cost savings perspective. This is the Parker 78R. This is a $26 razor. It's a brass framed razor. Easy for me to say. I am using one of the most popular blades out there today, and they are the Astra Blues. You can get a pack of these for less than $10 from good old Amazon. I am going to be using my Badger brush, and that's probably the most expensive thing, but you can get a good shaving brush for 20 to 30 bucks. Prime example would be this one. This is one of my favorites, but I'm not using this today. I wanted to break out my other brush. And the soap I'm using, it doesn't have a label on it, but this is good old Taylor of Old Bond Street sandalwood. And what I have is a hard puck, and this is my favorite. But the regular stuff, the soft crope, you can get that for less than $20 from Amazon. So for way less than the cost of 100 blades from Harry's or Gillette or any place like that, you can be well on your way. And takes a little practice, but you know, it's pretty easy to figure out once you get the hang of it. But it's not just the cost savings that I want to talk about with you guys tonight. There's an intrinsic value to this as far as I'm concerned. And I think a lot of my fellow wet shavers would agree with me. And let's talk about it down in the comments. I'd actually like to get a conversation started about this. I make no qualms about it. I'm a recovering alcoholic. And this has been a small part in helping me with my recovery. I'm also a Christian. I make no apologies for that either. If you're interested, I'll leave a link to my other channel where I talk about matters of faith. But it really doesn't matter if you are or you aren't. But there are some benefits to wet shaving that go beyond, I don't really like this brush, that go beyond just the cost savings. And that's what I want to talk about. So let's get this soap on my face here. Man, Taylor of Old Bond Street sandalwood smells so good. Okay, I'm going to look around my rig that I got here. I'm going to put a little more water on my brush. Man, that feels good on your face. There are times when I'm not shooting a video, if I'm kind of had a stressful day or I just need a time to decompress. I used to do that with alcohol. But now I'll come in here and I'll sit down and I'll run a sink full of water and soak my brush and get into the whole rhythm of it, because there's a little thing you kind of do. You just kind of come in here and get into it and relax. Get my water going, get my soap worked up, and I'll turn on some really nice music, or I will turn on one of my favorite Bible teachers, which is Alistair Begg or Chuck Swindoll, and I will sit in here and purposefully take my time and relax and enjoy the whole process, because it's just, it's very cathartic, and it helps me relax, and it pulls me back from all the stress of life, because we just run through so many things so fast. We're always got to be at the next meeting, or there's text coming on our phones, and we got to do this and got to be there, got to drop the kids off and do this, got a deadline at work, and it's just nice to be able to come in and do something old school, and this is old school. You can sit in here and think. You can pray. Listen to your favorite talk show. Listen to the ball game in the summertime or something. If somebody's playing baseball on the radio, they still do baseball on the radio, don't they? But it's a chance to unwind. And in our modern breakneck world, we're running through drive-thrus, we're hurrying to do this, and we can't even take time to, slow down and enjoy a meal. This kind of reminds me in a way of when families used to sit down at the dinner table and have dinner together. Am I the only one that remembers that? Sit down and talk about your day. Enjoy your family, enjoy your wife, enjoy your children. But it just doesn't happen anymore. And I think that we've lost, hang on, I can't talk during this part. I think we've lost some of that old school charm for the sake of convenience and expedience. And yes, I know there are times when you can't really do this and take the time to do it this way, like I'm doing it right now. I mean, the only difference what I'm doing right now is what I would be doing without this camera going is the camera. Man, if y'all haven't tried the hard pup Taylor of Old Bond Street sandalwood, if you find the cream version of the sandalwood just a little too much, like I do, boy, this is your ticket right here. Let me rinse my face off. First pass done. And I try to, if I can, to shave the night before. I'm out of the house by 9 o'clock on Sunday mornings to get to Sunday school. Be there by 9:30, go get some coffee, have time to talk with some friends, and get ready. So I try to shave the night before. And I will sit in here and listen to some good music. Or maybe some comedy. I like to listen to comedy while I do this too. Anybody remember the old Andy Griffith routine called "What It Was Football"? Maybe I'll put that down in the description below, because if you hadn't heard that, that's absolutely hilarious. We're going to add a little more soap to this. I wanted to use this brush again because I haven't used it for a while, and it's a silver tip badger brush, but it isn't one of my favorites. I'm going to wet that a little bit. But I think anytime we can take a chance to slow down and relax and enjoy a meal, or take a breath and just kind of calm down for a little bit. Man, that goes a long way for your mental health, your physical health. It makes you easier to get along with more often than not. Oftentimes, it's the little things in life that we do that really make a difference. And especially for me as a recovering alcoholic, and you wouldn't think that something is insignificant as shaving would do that for you, but it's been no small tool in my toolkit for coping. You know, I've never puked on my shoes after after a wet shave. But I have walked out of this bathroom smelling good, looking good, with my mind calmed down. And for me, it's the whole routine. Because after I'm done and I shut off this camera, I'm going to be rinsing out this brush. I'm going to be cleaning my razors and putting them back where they go, drying them off, setting my blade aside for the next use. And it's just an enjoyable experience. And ladies, and I know I've got a couple of female subscribers out there. I picked up another one, and I wanted to thank her for subscribing. I don't want to call you out by name, but you know who you are. You subscribed today. This is really good for y'all girls too, man. You can sit in the tub, lather up with a good soap. Queen of Hearts from Sterling. It's great soap to use. Smells good. I have another female friend. She likes it quite a bit. And you can sit in your bath and you can lather up and shave and listen to some music and have some candles going and kill two birds with one stone. Oh, we're going against the grain here. Kill two birds with one stone. Get a task you need to get done and enjoy yourself while you're doing it. There's so much more to this than saving money. And some of you might think I'm nuts, but that's okay. This little Parker razor for 26 bucks is an absolute gem. And you might be asking, well, if I start, I might cut myself once or twice. I mean, you may. But when you're shaving with one of these razors, you start it parallel to your face. You just kind of kick it up till you feel that blade just barely start to grab. Now, I'm doing this a little quicker than I normally would because I don't want my videos to be too long. But the benefits to shaving like this, the benefits to slowing down and doing anything are just tremendous. And they're incalculable, and they're very untangible, but they're very real. It's like sitting down on a Sunday and making Sunday dinner and frying chicken or something like that and enjoying the people you're with and putting some effort in. And I ain't got the prettiest face in the world, but I'm going to have one of the smoothest. In a world where our time is constantly on demand and we're constantly tasked for getting on to the next thing, I believe it's important to find something that'll give you a little bit of peace. Something you can kind of stop and do and relax. Because you do have to pay attention to what you're doing. And you can get lost in something that won't intoxicate you physically. I personally think that this is a wonderful thing to do. And if you can avoid the rabbit hole and buy a couple of good razors, some good blades, and experiment with soap. I've got a few things back there. I don't have an overabundance. I know people that have 150 tubs of soap. I don't ever want to get to that point. But it's a time to relax. It's a time for some peace, self-reflection, and a time to drown out all the noise that's around us. And God knows there's plenty of noise around us. And when you're done, you're smelling great, you're looking good, and most importantly, you've had some time for your mind to calm down. And that, my friend, is worth its weight in gold. Just a time, oh, that's beautiful. And I smell like sandalwood. And that, my friends, is why I really enjoy wet shaving. It's a blessing. It's something simple, inexpensive, and extremely rewarding you can do. I hope this has helped you. For those of you who might be believers, I'm going to leave a link to my second channel in the description. And if you want, you can subscribe to that channel. And that channel, I do very simple Bible studies and encourage people who are struggling. That's my goal with everything I do here, whether it's wet shaving or anything else. Things to make life a little more happy and a little less stressful. Remember, in all the things we can get in this world, nothing is more important than wisdom. God bless you, and thank you to all the new subscribers. Talk to y'all later.